Shalom, welcome to Kabbalah Academy. Today is an important lesson. We're going to look mainly at the wrong types of fear, but you will see as we go that the true fear, Yirah, which is the first and foremost precept, as the Zohar says, one who is in awe, Yirah, fulfills the whole law. One who is not in awe, Yirah, fulfills none of the law. Okay? So the fear of Hashem, Yirat Hashem, is the first and foremost type of fear and can be translated as awe. And you'll see that as we go, that in these other permutations of fear, which are like more terror, horror, you'll see that they all find place in the heart, right? The heart, Tiferes, in the Sefirot, is the center of Zerampin. But we'll treat all that as we go. First of all, I want to show you the word Yirah in a way that I have not done before, because I have many videos on the Gematria, very deep till the fifth expansion and so on and so forth. But Yirah is written with a Yud. Yud is spirit, okay? Resh is forms or to form. Aleph is variables, but has a value of 1. It is also the crown, and it can also be Yud Ke Vav Ke 26 because it has 2 Yuds and 1 Vav. And then the Hey is behold within, but has a value of 5. So you can say various things. It is the spirit. You can point at your own spirit, right? And your spirit is namely, let's put it on here already, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. This is Ruach, Nefesh, soul. Nefesh, soul, and that is a Nun, the letter Nun. And this is Zerampin, with the Vav, value 6, and refers to the Ruach, okay? Ruach, spirit. Vav for the Partsuf Zerampin, but Ruach, spirit, is the Yud, okay? So, clear it out. So the Ruach is the Yud. So, the spirit, right, that forms unity within, or that forms 1 from 5, because 5 is really 5 books of motion, 5 neshamot, soul levels, 5 olamot, worlds, 5 Sophit letters. Many 5s are found, right? The 5 senses of the Gufa, which all came about to the gate, to the fall, okay? It's a descent. So the spirit forming unity from the 5, okay? So that you can read it in various ways. Very important. And at the end of this, we'll go to Likkutei Yirah 9, Magnum Opus by Yirah H'ari, which you should study for the right prerequisites. And also, I redirect you for further studies, school.com for true authentic Kabbalah /Yirah. We just said it, first and foremost, precept or Yirah. Very important, people. And you want to learn true, authentic Kabbalah, this is the place to be. Okay, let's start. The words, fear. First, as usual, we'll do it in the English. So that would be F-E-A-R, right? Now we have a Fe for the F, okay? We have an Ayin for the E. We have an Aleph for the A. We have a Resh for the R. The value thereof is 80 for the Fe, which is a Yisod also, 70 for the nations. These were the forms already. 1 for the Aleph and 200 for the Reis. Makes a total of 351. 351. Interesting number there. 351, first of all, is the outcome of the square of 26. The square of 26. And 26 is the value of Yirah Hari. But this would definitely point us at Yirah Hari Katan. And Yirah Hari Katan, that is Tiferes and Zerampin. That is the child that sits upon the throne. That's the lower Yirah Hari. Okay? Leave this for later. So, that's one of the values, 351. But there's way more there, because 351 is also the value of, let's do it here, Kadam. Yeah. Just do it so. Le Gan Eden. To the east of Gan Eden, east of the garden. And Kadam, east hints at Tiferes. This is east. Okay? And Tiferes is the heart. The heart, okay? And that's why you'll find many verses, but we'll go there in a little bit. In the most, and in each and every permutation of fear, you find verses that connect fear to the heart, okay? And the gun of Eden, that is, of course, where damage is done, right? We are looking in the lines of rectification that's needed on these fears, and these fears coming about from that distortion, right? That distortion in Tiferes. Okay. So let us proceed. There's another. So this value is 351 in its total, right? Kadam, the east of the Garden of Eden. Now comes a positive outcome, because 351 is also the value of Lag BaOmer. This one's empty. Lag. Yeah. BaOmer. That's also 351. Yes, because I remember now that by the east of the Garden of Eden, man was exiled, right? And by Lag BaOmer, man shall be redeemed. Okay? So, that's the 50th gate. Okay, so let us proceed. So what else did I have there? So it's a rectification of the Eitz Hadas, right? What happened with the Eitz Hadas, Toivira. Now, if we take this word fear, the word fear that we see a lot is pachad. Pachad. Let us read a little bit in Deuteronomy. Okay, the Tanakh. Put my glasses on. Okay, Tanakh, Deuteronomy 28, verse 67. Yes, that's correct. Here in the pink you see it. Mepachat levavecha. Okay? It is fear or terror in the heart. Here. Tepachat. Various permutations. So that's immediately one of those verses where you see levavecha, that it is found within the heart. So you see that the root letters of Pachat are then Fe, Chet, Dalet. Fe, Chet, Dalet. And we just read it. What is interesting here to share is the first, that the triangular, you can do it upside down also. Pach. Okay. 80 times 3 is 240, plus 12, 252 is 260. And 260, again, is a tenfold, because each sephira has 10 sub-sephiros, is 10 times 26, which was equal to the 26 here. But we're speaking about Tiferes. Let's put the rest here also, net zo goed. You saw it, maar goed. Speaking about this Yudke Wavke, okay? Is the Yudke Wavke Katan. The following, what I found, Pachat. We're going to do the Milui. So, then you get, we're doing the Milui Katan, Fe. Because you can do Fe with an Aleph, you can do it with a He, Chet, Dalet, 4, 34, 4, 18, and 81. Makes a total of 933. And 933 is a very interesting number, because it's the value of, and we already said it, we were expelled from the Garden of Eden east side, right? And that points at Tiferes. Now the value here of the spelling out is exactly the value of Eitz Hadas Toivira. So Eitz, the tree, Eitz Hadas, of knowledge, Toiv, Ra. The tree of knowledge of good and bad. That's the value 933. Recalculate it if you will. Be my guest. It's correct. And there's another value, because just like here we had Lag BaOmer, which was the rectification then of the fallen situation and state. Another phrase that values 933 is the following. Aulat, which is ascension, Olat, Eitz, Ha, Chaim. So, the ascension to the tree of life, your rectification. Again, you see how all these words, they have dual natures. That's why you see also the word, the 358, Mashiach and Nachash. We see that a lot in Gematria, in Kabbalah, in the crown jewel, in Kabbalah and Judaism. These counter values which have the same numerical value. So here it's not any different. So that's very clear. Let us proceed, namely, to the following, which is the kuzu of Pachat. And kuzu is another cipher. Maybe it's good if I show it to you. Yes, let's do that. Here you see on the left at my thumb, that is the regular cipher. And then on the right side thereof, you have the album. And on the bottom, these two, that's the kusu cipher. So here the letters shift. If we take the word pagat from the Alban and we look at the letters that sit in the same sockets, yet now in the kusu cipher, we get the following combination, namely, staat hier, Hey, Nun, Tzadi. Hey, Nun, Tzadi is in the kusu, okay? Hey, Nun, Tzadi. And Hey is, we had that 5, we had that division of 5, right? Which was rectified through Yirah also. So this is 5. Nun Tzadi is 50. And 90 was 140. But in the ordinal, and here goes, that is 14. And 18 makes 32, which equals the paths of, and the 22 paths and the 10 sephiros, and is the amount of mentionings of Elohim, which is all connected, but we're not going in there today. So if we take the 5 times 32 is 160, which is the value of 8. A tree, right? Because I already said it, there is damage to the tree, and there's a tree of good and evil, and there's a tree of life. So this is all greatly connected. 5 times 32, 160. Okay, so that's first of all found, but more important even in this word is when we spell it out. So we'll get then, Hey, Nun, and Tzadi. Hey, Nun, Tzadi. Yes, that's correct. And it has a value of 6, 106, and 104. 106 plus 104 is 210, plus 6 is 216, and 216 is the value of Yirah. Okay? So, Yirah. And you see that is the first word from the Hebrew word treating of fear. So, the proper fear is also mentioned within, if you know where to look for it. So, Yirah is included. Right? Included in the Gematria, that will say, right? This kind of fear is the opposite. So that's not the fear you want to have. This fear can only come about through the hate and the situation we are in that is not in a healthy connection to our Creator. Right? It's not yashar. Okay, so that's how it enters into one's system. Now, 216 is also the value of Gevura. So that is included in this improper version of fear, right? Gevura, judgment. Judgment is on the left. Here's your Gevura, left column, comes from the mother, right? Chesed from the father. But this is what you want to aim for, center column. And Yirah, that's something you draw down. Yashar. Right? Not to the left, not to the right. Okay, so let us proceed. One more thing then about fear. We'll put it here one more time and then we'll just flip the screen. Fear. So I'll just stay like this so you can see it well. So this is mouth. Fe is mouth, right? Ayin is eye. This is variables or air, and these are forms, right? So you could say this is the expression, right? The expression, the mouth or the produce, because it sits here. Yisod, the mouth, reproduction organ, and this is reality, the world of action. So everything is bestowed from here till there, whether you spill your seed or whether you draw down Kedusha. But in this case, you see that the produce and the site, which is a physical site, right? It is not based upon the panemios, the internalities, but on physicality, right? It's built on physicality. So the expression through perception of sight, right? Which is the multiplicity, and that's why the 70 here, the value 70, the ayin, and 70 are these 7. Chesed, the spirit form, desire form, holy form, soul form, emotion form, mental form, physical form. Each sephirot has 10 sub-sephirot, okay? Keter, Chochmah, Bina, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, and Yisod. These are 10. So 7 times 10, that's your 70 nations. So a multiplicity, okay? Variable forms. So it already says it, fear. Okay, the produce, the outcome of a physical interpretation through the form 70 nations, Zerampin, closed system, no connection to Abba, to the Father, right? No connection at all. So let us proceed to then the next permutation, because I think we had everything around this word, which was pachad. Fear, pachad. The next permutation would then be Aleph Yud, AI, Mem, Hey, Ema, Ema. Okay, so Ma is already reality, okay? Upon reality. And reality will make a tree here again. Keter, Chochmah. Bina, Chesed. Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod. Yesod, Malchut. Asiya, Malchut, Nukva. Yetzira, Zerampin, okay? Ima, the mother, Abba, the father, Keter, the crown. So, okay? So, what do we see here? Okay, first of all, I see AI. I immediately know AI is the following. AI, Aleph, Yud. Yud is 20, Aleph is 111. 20 plus 111 is 131, which is the value of Soma El. The blind God is found here. 7-headed serpent. This is your 7-headed serpent, okay? The blind God, that voice that speaks to you, which is not you, okay? So, and in fact, it's these 6 I hate, these 7 are an abomination, because these accumulative sum of experience, they create, their build-up draws. The build-up draws, and that draws forms the serpent, and that serpent becomes a voice, starts to talk to you, you start to give it credit, and then you decide to act, which we saw the Yisod upon Ma, reality. What can, this means what? Ma means what? What can I witness to you? What can I liken to you? Reality. Mamash. So, and what is that reality? In this case, it's 131. So it's the reality of 131. That means no reality at all. Okay? So that's found in a ma. So it's the serpent, the seed spilled upon reality. And the translation of this word is terror. It's terror. Yet, Aleph, Yud, if we spell it out completely, and you put the mem, hey, on the side, this being 6, this being 80, 131 plus 80 is 211 plus 6 is 217 in Kollel of 216, again, Yirah or Gevura. This situation is definitely a Gevura situation, but your way out of there is mentioned also, just like Nachash. I already told you Nachash, 358, like Mashiach, 358. Mashiach, Yirah, Nachash, Gevura. Okay? So another interesting thing that alludes to this closed circuit is namely the pregnant letters. The pregnant letters means the original word is A-I Mem Aleph Yud Mem Hey. These are Aleph, Yud, Mem, and Hey. Now if you want to know the pregnant letters, these are the letters that came along by spelling it out. Okay, this is your pregnant letters. So Lamed Fe, 30 plus 80, 110. Vav plus Dalet is 10. 40 plus 1, 41 is 161. And 161, my friends, is the value of Soif, Yud, Hey. The end of Yud, Hey. And now Yud, the name, the four-letter name, is as follows. The crown is the tip of the Yud. Chochma is the base of the Yud. Ima Bina is the upper Hey. Vav is Zerampin. Okay? The 6. Vav, it values 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the lower Hey is the Nukva. Okay? So when it says Soif Yud Hey, it refers to the Yud Hey, the upper, the Rosh. There's no Rosh, there's no connection, because the serpent voice, the Samael, the blind God, the veil here, which is the true circumcision, is to cut off the veil, right? Have a proper connection there, Yashar, and not forsake your mother's Torah, which is written Torah plus oral Torah, Kabbalah, and the books of Moshe. Okay, so Soif Yud Hey, interesting artifact there. Did we find the 216 here? Yes, we did. Okay, so second word, second permutation had a 216. The first had a 216. We're going to the third permutation, and it won't be any different there. So let's do it in here. And that is Charda. Charda means to tremble. Charda. Charda. Chet is a fence, right? Reish are the forms. So this is already, these are all your forms, your midos. And this is your fence, of course. And then Dalet Hey. Dalet is a path without walls. And Hey is within, or the internalities, you could say, right? The penimios. So a fence around the forms, keeping you from that path without walls to the internalities, because we depict it as if it's something outer and higher and up there, but in reality it is inwards, right? So the path without walls is obstructed by a fence through the forms. The forms create that fence. So you can already find that in these letters. And now the next permutation is very interesting, but let us do the Gematria first, because this is an 8, this is 200, this is 4, and this is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 8 is 17, plus 200 is 217, which in Kollel is 216 of in Kollel, which again is Yirah. Can't write that name enough. Yirah, mirror, Yirah, Yirah H'ari, 432. Value of Haraya Mehemna, the faithful shepherd. Okay. The rest you will have to find out yourself. Important is that you start realizing that this system is at play, that you base everything upon these forms, okay? You desire something, you feel a certain kind of way, or you think you are holy, right? All these forms, all these memories, and this dross. Oh yes, oh it was so, and okay, so now it's this person is like that because I have seen such a person already. But the fact is that reality is not defined by your forms and by your experience. Okay, so it always gives you distorted image. This gives you images. Okay, it's not reality. Okay, so let us proceed, because the next thing is what I'll do is tzaruf, means rearrange, use the same letters, rearrange them, and then you can make har, hey, resh, and chad. Yes, and har is mountain. Har is mountain. And Chad values 8 plus 4 is 12. These are these 6, each having 2 sides, right? Fronts and backs. So this is really Zerampin, Yetzirah Toiv, Yetzirah Ra, 2 sides, and that is also an illusion. When we speak of a mountain, it's about these forms also, okay? Because Esav, the angel of Esav, and with whom Yaakov struggled, right? This is the forms, right? And the Mount Sinai, like Sinai, it also hints at 131, is Samael. So it all speaks about, it's various metaphors speaking about the same thing, which is our struggle with these forms, and to start connecting with the Penimios, with Ima, by not forsaking the mother's Torah, okay? So, that is here, Har Chat. And Har has a milui of Hey, Reish, and Reish is 510, and Hey 6, so it's 516. Yes, that's correct. And 516 is an interesting number because we know from Devarim, Deuteronomy 3:23, we know that it says Va'et Hanan. And Va'et Hanan values 515. Va, Aleph Taf, right, is in there. Va'et Hanan. And this is an allusion to Nun, because Moshe pleaded, and this means to plead. Va'et Hanan, I pleaded. It values 515, and it says that he pleaded 515 times, and Hashem told him that if you do that one more time, I will grant you what you're asking me. But he made him come to a sense that that was not the way. And you see here, Nun. This is an allusion to Nun, because that was Shan, right? 50th gate. So, but that's for a whole other study there. But you can find all these traces in there. So I pleaded 515 times, and this is the 16th then, right? That would be the 16th then. So there's no unity. You can see that Gad is really Echad without the Aleph. Echad without the Aleph. And Echad is Keter, values 1. Chet are the next 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the Dalet is the Nukva. Is here. That's a full tree. So remember what we already treated. We have the tree of life, tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's all about trees because man is a tree. And it hints at the pattern that has been shown that teaches us also about these trees and the Sefirot. Very important material, unmissable for those who want to make their ways yashar and connect to the Holy One, blessed be He, and glorify His name, because that's what it's all about. It's not about ours. It is not to be looked for our glory. Okay, we are not holy. He is holy. We are sparks of the endless, and we need to glorify the endless. Okay, because here we have it. Likkutei Yirah 9, the sefer for all the prerequisites. The only sefer that teaches Lashon HaKodesh also. Because the topic we just treated, and we'll go straight to the pages, because this sefer is available on Amazon.com, bookbaby.com. If you cannot afford a physical copy, reach out. We have a free PDF copy for you. 753. And we'll go through a couple of them. These are all verses, a couple of pages full of verses that hint at Yirah, the proper fear, right? And as we just treated, all these forms of fear were lower forms of fear in the heart, in a negative sense, full of gevura, right? And I already said that there's a division of 5, right? And there's also 5 gevurot and 5 chesedim. There's so much to be taught, and I advise you, if you're really interested in learning these secrets, to go to school.com/Yirah. So the fear is connected to the heart, as we treated, right? And the condition that is created through the Gate, right? The tree of knowledge of good and evil. The different words revealed various expressions of the same principle and repeatedly connect to Gevura, judgment, and separation. Yet at the same time, within these wordings, the calculations point towards the remedy, which is Yirah, right? And also the tree of life appears there. Like Ba'omer, we saw like Ba'omer, right? So ascension is always mentioned, and the Torah is written to warn us of our situation, but it hints also at the way out, and to a higher perception, really inward, to the penimios. So this brings us to that charda that we had, that trembling. Within it, we found allusions to the mountain, right, Har, and to Gat, Echad without the unity, and therefore, attention becomes fixed upon the forms. So this is the root of these lower fears, these forms. The correction is not fear itself, but Yirah, awe, right? Admiration, where the hidden unity is restored and the forms are seen in their proper place. So let us read a couple of these verses. Where did it start? Yes, here. Job, so that he does not forsake Yirah, the fear of the Almighty. It is written, the eye of Hashem is upon Yirah. Those who forsake Him forsake life. Job 5:14. You do away Yirah with reverence and hinder. Yirah is the reverence of the Holy One, and those who do not listen hinder themselves. Job 22:4. Will He reprove thee for Yirah, fear of thee? Will He enter? So Only by Yirah will he enter, and only by Yirah will he not be reproved and rejected from entry into the supernal house. Well, it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. There's many passages here, and there's also the passages of the Zohar come there. So it has everything. This sefer has everything you need to find your way out of the amnesia you're seeing around you. They're running around in circles like chickens without heads, right? Like filling your tank, keep riding around in circles and not getting anywhere. So if you are tired of that, here is your way out. I'm telling you, this changed my life, it's changed many others' lives, and it can change your life also. So many blessings, much love, till the next video. Shalom.